Hey guys, Omni here. We are back for episode 4 of the Haunting of Bly Manor. Last episode gave us mostly a lot of background to the relationship with the previous governess and this man named Peter. And kind of his relationship with the house, with, you know, the uncle, with the kids, and just his overall kind of like legacy that he's kind of left, his imprint that has been left behind in his wake. It was really interesting to see, one, how people talk about him in the present day, the theories about what's happening, because I guess his whereabouts and his well-being is unknown at this point to a lot of the people at the house. But we got some glimpses into that relationship that kind of developed between him and Jessa. So I'm kind of curious to see how it's all going to come together, because definitely there's some influences that he kind of left behind on Miles as well. Though I don't know, I kind of talked about this in the previous reaction. I don't know if that's because he's literally possessing the kid, because that's kind of what the end of, I think, episode 2 kind of implied. Or if it's just so much as, you know, he left a mark on this kid, you know, left an impression on him with his tact, with his wit, with his manipulations, if you will. Yeah. So, guys, let's just jump into this episode, man. So, if you are part of the 75% of people that are watching this video and you're not subscribed, I really hope that by the end of this, you change your mind, hit that button, and join the family. That being said, though, if you want to see the full-length reaction to this episode or any of the other ones, you can check those out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, gets you access as well. This is one of the ways you can help support us over here. We work towards expanding the types of reactions we do, the amount, the quality, all of that jazz. It really does help us out, but of course, I know not everybody can do that. And a simple way you can help us, though, is by liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing these videos, and helping us combat the dreaded YouTube algorithm. That all said and down the way, guys, let's go ahead and jump into episode 4. Here we go.
She probably said distinguished. It's like fancy. Let me try.
It's her brother? Is that who's haunting her?
You're blind. Can you even tell it's me?
Of course I can. I see you every day.
Kids, dinner!
You can stay for dinner again.
I should go.
Oh, or not.
No, really.
Okay, never mind. Friend.
You like it?
Yeah, absolutely. You're beautiful. You ready for this? We just have to get through this and then they'll leave us alone for a while.
Damn.
It was a dare. She dared me
Edmund.
to kiss her. And then Kyle tells me that kissing is how you get a girl pregnant. I was 10 years old. My mom's gonna kill me. I get down on one knee and I asked her to marry me. And she turned me down.
You always seem to spot the kids that need you the most. You better take care of yourself as well. You know, save them all if you can, but put your own oxygen mask on first.
Edmund says the same thing.
I remember the first time I met you. You said, "Good morning, Mrs. O'Meara. I'm Danielle, and I'm going to be Edmund's new best friend." I always hoped I'd have a daughter I could give this to. I'm so proud of my sons.
Aw.
I don't think this would suit any of them. Well, maybe Carson. Anyway.
I don't know what to say.
Oh, just say, "Good morning, Mrs. O'Meara."
That transition. a little haunting.
It's quite a dress. Yeah, it's the only thing I had in black. I hate it.
It does look a bit like you're trying to scandalise the village.
I don't need you to be my date to Owen's mum's funeral.
Okay. Now, can you help me get this thing off?
Blimey.
The zipper.
Right.
Thank you.
Oh.
Well, I'll be back in a few hours. And if I find out you've not been relaxing, there will be serious consequences.
Ooh. Gonna give her a paddling. Okay, so we know who that is now.
Miss Clayton? Will Owen's mum be there?
Where?
At the funeral.
I suppose so.
My mum and dad weren't at theirs. They were far away when they died.
Hmm.
They had to bury empty boxes, but we had to pretend anyway. And I thought that was quite silly.
You know, your parents loved you.
Hmm.
In a way, they'll always be here.
They're not here. I'm sorry, Miss Clayton. They're really not. I've looked and looked. We can pretend. that makes you feel better. My trousers got wet in the graveyard, and Miss Clayton said I wet my pants. Because in America, pants mean trousers. She said I wet my pants like a baby.
Guess you didn't make it to the funeral either.
As I was married, I had nothing but respect for Ryan's mum, but she was long gone. Dementia is a savage thing.
Jamie said it all and said it was okay.
Yeah, it is, man.
I pay my respect to my own ways. He understands that funerals are for the living. It's up to the living to decide.
Had 2 grandparents with Alzheimer's.
Right, you, come along. Let's get some supper started for you children, shall we?
Knock on wood. That name gonna be important?
How was it?
Oh, you know, just a barrel of laughs. Any chance for brew?
Yeah, I'll make tea.
No.
Oh. Whoa.
Poppins, you alright?
What is... I need more. And there's good old Peter. Can't tell if that was somebody at the end of the hall or not. In the hallway, dude, hanging out still. There's always a guy there under the staircase.
You've got great shoulders. You know that?
Karen, please. Did you let Mike see you and yours?
Okay.
Help pick mine out and
Is
look
he?
how that turned
Does she
out.
feel guilty? Is that how he's haunting her through guilt of not being truthful?
I was attacked, you know, right at the front door.
I'm so sorry. Hey, now, you leave her alone. She can't help it. She's American. Essentially savage people.
But then I learned the secret. I didn't even need to be sad anymore.
What secret?
Dead doesn't mean gone.
In more ways than one.
Miss Clayton, I think I ought to be allowed a glass of wine.
Sure about that?
Peter let me have wine sometimes.
Is she sick? Will we ever hear the end of Peter Quint?
My mum used to water mine down. Yeah, gave me half a glass.
My mom too, except without the water.
I want an actual bloody drink.
No! You know, I do like that young woman.
Yeah, nah.
What are you looking at?
I'm sorry?
You do that a lot. You look over my shoulder. What are you looking at?
I don't know what you mean.
No.
You want to act like the grown-ups? I understand. I was the same way.
You lost somebody too.
I did. I lost people a few ways in my life, but
The door changed positions between some of these shots.
We're all outside, and you're joining us.
Oh, that'd be fun. I love a good bonfire.
so many people to let down.
Yeah, no, easy. It's done. God, for a second, I thought you were going to say you shouldn't want to get married at all.
I can't.
What did I do?
I love you.
Fuck you, Danielle.
Eddie,
No, let me go.
Eddie,
Let me go.
I'm sorry.
Jesus, have you not? You've done enough.
I'm sorry.
Is he gonna get hit by a car?
Eddie!
Yep. Fuck.
Eddie!
Yeah. No wonder. That's why the watch is broken and the glasses. Oh my god. No wonder she can't shake that.
Oh, I love a bonfire, I do.
Damn.
Reminds me of being a little girl again. Mind you, I do appreciate the adult beverages.
Yeah, he didn't. I mean, that's a hard thing to hear, but like he definitely, I don't know, he did not handle it very gracefully.
My mum, she was 67. By the end, she forgot that. Called me by my dad's name or her brother's. You know, tried to pretend that I didn't know who I was supposed to be. They didn't say any of that at the funeral. They made it nice. Left out all the bad stuff and all the good stuff. They didn't and say how funny she was. Wink at you from across the breakfast table. She had a sweet tooth and a dirty laugh, and she loved me so hard. It hurt. She was gone long before she died. She was my anchor. And then I suppose she was my burden. She seemed so small at the end, and all I could do was just let her hang on to me until it was time to let go, and soon I'll let her go too.
Yeah, that one. That trudged up a lot of old memories. Is this where it starts? I mean, that image has to be seared into her brain, though. And she's combining it with all of these feelings. This guilt, pressure.
He was a wonderful young man, and you were a lovely couple. Thank you. Forgive me.
Ooh.
You're doing so well, honey. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Wow, that's so creepy.
You made him so happy.
Oh. I think there was a face in the bush behind them. I'm not sure though.
I've never told anybody that.
I'm so sorry.
We had broken up. I'd broken up, I guess, right before. Right before.
Jesus, Danny, the same day.
Oh, the same moment. Pretty much.
Is he here now?
No.
Good. Because, you know, I'll sort him out for you if I know what it feels like. Feel like you can't find you. Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh. Oh, you fucking perv. Get out of here. Stop it.
Right. I don't know what to say.
See, with how things are in these series.
It's my fault. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's not.
You're literally telling me that you weren't up for this. Just let's get back.
Aw.
Another time, maybe.
Anyway, like I was saying, knowing how these things go, I love that there's such like a blurred line about what might be actually supernatural or actually trauma. For all we know, he very well could be literally haunting her, or it is her baggage she's carrying around.
I thought you might like to have these.
Why?
That I really, they were in his things that came back from the hospital, and I can't stand to look at them.
I mean, you think she should?
Please.
Okay, of course.
Damn it. Again, because she doesn't want to disappoint, let down the family, or...
I hope you know that you're still a really important part of this family. Come here, come on. Oh.
Damn.
Okay, I actually have some stuff I need to get done.
Oh, sure, of course.
Oh, is this the day she left? Yeah.
Come on, Owen. Time to go home.
It's about that time. Well, alcohol you later.
God, even for you.
Damn, emotionally worked up like this is not going to be that's not going to make a night in this house very good. Did one of the dolls move?
Miss Clayton?
What? Oh.
Miles?
That's the dresser doll. Oh, great. Ooh. It's It's gonna be a great time to...
I'm quite frightened. It was a horrible dream.
Well, you should be in bed.
Not that I won't. There was something horrible and loud in the wardrobe.
What is Miles looking at? He looks so freaked out.
A creature.
Now he doesn't.
A creature in my bed.
Oh no, where's...
And it was reaching out and it knew my name. And it said it wanted to do awful things.
Uh-oh.
That sounds awful.
Oh, God.
That sounds like an awful dream.
Let's get you two back to bed, okay?
The door gonna be open? Is there gonna be mud tracks?
A few minutes more.
They waiting for her to get out of the house?
Could I have a glass of milk?
Of course.
Yeah, there's the tracks. So this entity...
I'm sorry.
sometimes comes in the house. Is that why she leaves the doll elsewhere? To try to keep it from coming in, maybe? I don't know. But the doll moved on its own.
Talk about this in the morning.
Man, I got so many questions. I don't know if that's a statue or a person back there behind her. Wow, she's so unfazed right now. I think she's finally had enough.
It's just you and me then.
Well, I'm that guy back there, assuming that's not a statue, but... Man, I really love this episode. Ooh. Now, we need to talk. Man, we finally have the answers to who the glasses person was and why it's haunting her. Again, like I kind of brought up throughout the reaction, we don't know. I have a very strong feeling that unlike what's happening in the house, and maybe it happened outside the house. This was something she was seeing long before she ended up at Bly. So it's not, we've talked about this at length before. So I'm more inclined to believe that this is not supernatural, that this is carrying this guilt and trauma along with her because she was never honest with herself or her partner, and just the way that she had been building up all this guilt, this pressure, these expectations, and she was carrying all that, and she felt like, because of all that pressure, all those expectations, just kind of that relationship that they've built together, she felt like trapped in it, but also in like a facade. I don't know, man. It was just like, it very well, especially considering the moment she finally was brave enough to confront the situation head on, to finally speak what she's been feeling. To think being in a situation like that, where you're feeling like this for all this time, the whole, like, from like such a young age, they've been just kind of in this forced dynamic that maybe like initially was genuine, but of course things change over time. People change. You learn things about yourself, about the world, and that's kind of what Danny was still kind of exploring. Something was always off, but she just thought it was something wrong with her rather than just who she is. And to think that, out of fear, out of pressure and all that, having to bottle that up and keep that in to protect the people around you rather than yourself, to finally take that moment to unpack that, confront that, and reveal that, and it leads to this outcome. Not only that, because the other person couldn't understand in that moment, but also turned it around on you. Like, again, putting that pressure and guilt that she was already feeling and only amplifying those feelings. reinforcing all of the fears and all of the reasons that she kept this a secret rather than letting it come out. And not only to get that kind of reaction out of somebody you were always afraid to let down and hurt, their reaction to that got them killed. The level of guilt that must weigh on her shoulders for all this time has got to be insurmountable. Despite the supernatural things in here, I do believe this is her trauma that she's dealing with. Her carrying that around, him always looming over her shoulder. The fact that she was trying to finally become free resulted in her permanently being overshadowed by his presence. Now she's married to it in a way, almost, until she can find a way to move on, which I think she's at least making a stride towards that, because this time around she didn't freak out. She wasn't shaking. Probably the alcohol had something to do with it, and she was probably had a little bit of a adrenaline boost from the little makeout sesh a little while ago, and coming in cock blocking her like that, I'm sure she's probably a little pissed off, a little blue balled and a little angry given the situation. I really liked it all, man. I really do. The psychology behind it all is very fascinating in lieu of the supernatural elements that could be coming into play here. And that's what I liked about Hill House, was that there was this blurred line between the psychology of it all and whether or not it could even be actual, what things were real, what things were not, and the way they played with that. And we're seeing similar things here. Because I don't think it's a literal spirit, but I really like what they've done with Danny's story in this. On top of all of that, man, I was really happy that her and Jamie were finally having a moment after all that kind of tension they've been building up in their interactions the last few episodes. Just for him to show up and ruin all that too. I would get having your worldview kind of being devastated in that and not knowing how to properly respond in that situation with what you're learning after everything you've believed for all those years. But that was such a selfish way to turn that around and react in that moment. How could you do this to me? Not thinking at all about her and putting the spin and making himself the victim in the situation. I can't say I haven't been guilty of the same when I was younger, but doesn't make it the right response at all. Yeah, he did not handle it well. And I mean, it's not Danny's fault he got killed. I wouldn't say it's his fault he got killed either. But it was just wrong time, wrong place. And all those elements came together. There's no escaping that. But I don't know, something about being here, maybe being around these kids, seeing them go through their trauma, helping them through that trauma, and this group that has also been through their fair share of stuff, being able to kind of help her cope a little bit and get some strength into herself to stand up to this weight that she's been literally carrying around and that has been stalking her incorporeally. It's been really interesting to see that. And on top of everything with Owen, man, it really did strike really hard for me because, like I mentioned, I had two grandparents that had Alzheimer's. They went heavy into the dementia aspect, and everything he described, I remember quite vividly. And yeah, it hit home pretty hard, especially with his performance, especially with the way that he kind of finally admitted, the burden that it was that he was left with, the kind of toll that takes on you when you're at that stage, torn between love and torment in a way. It's rough. I've seen it. It's not fun, man. It's not fun being on that end. I am a little concerned with Miss Gross because, you know, she had that one moment in this. We've got a lot of other similar things going on here that I think are echoing throughout the rest of the story, and that's with her. She keeps having these like moments where she's kind of fleeting when she's coming and going, you know, haven't eaten, just kind of going off on her own and trying to remember people. As we learned at the beginning of this episode, she's trying to not forget certain people. So she had that little fleeting moment after what was post Owen's mother's funeral, and it just makes me wonder if she's having some early signs of that and is maybe not been honest about it. Maybe she's hiding it. Maybe she doesn't want Owen to know. Maybe she's not really even aware of it. Or maybe she's got a feeling of that. That's why she's doing this candle ritual. Maybe this is why she's seeing these cracks. I don't know. It's really interesting. Because I do think it has its like thematic tie-ins to everything else we've heard so far and seen so far in the show. Miles and Flora in this, learning a little bit more of their coping mechanisms. That little moment that Danny had relating to Miles after his outburst at the dinner table. Like that whole scene. It's a good little monologue. I didn't see if actually something in the background shut their door or creaked the door closed. But yeah, there was definitely like partway. I just remember like a scene later, or not a scene later, a few takes back when we cut from Miles back to Danny, to Miles to Danny, back through that conversation. One of the times we cut back from that point forward, because the door was agape, and after one of the cuts, and maybe even transition, but I may have been I missed it focusing on the performance, but the door ended up being mostly closed. It was like from here, it was like wide open to like creaked, almost closed in a couple of shots. And I don't know if that's a continuity error, or you can just blame any continuity error really on the ghosts or something like that. But I don't remember seeing it move in the shot. I just think that it changed from shot to shot at one point, but I could be wrong. And then, of course, the doll moving again. We heard it move. It woke up Flora. She opened her dollhouse and checked, and Danny's doll was missing. And the doll that she keeps hidden underneath the dresser was in the dollhouse. And that's when we saw that they were trying to distract Danny and keep Danny away from that one, that spirit, whichever one it is. That's the one that keeps coming in and out of the house, leaving those tracking footprints. Who is it? There was that Laura something, I think, sign that we saw that Flora had done a shit, what's it called? Anyway, a rubbing of the tombstone, and they lingered on that for a moment. And it's an old one. That's an old spirit based from the birth and death dates on that slab. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know where that's going. Don't know who that is, but they're definitely aware of it, avoiding it. And Miles looked definitely scared of it. Flora, seeing it in the bedroom and upstairs, didn't want to be anywhere near it. I don't know. It was a whole little situation. I don't know. Because they know so much they're not saying. And again, and Danny called her out on it this time when she was having a little talk with Flora. She kept focusing her eyes on something over her shoulder. What is that? I want to know the mystery of this house. But we'll get there, I'm sure. Man, this was probably my favorite episode so far. I really got into every emotional beat throughout this, man. And yeah, man, it tore me up a little bit. But I will say, Danny made some progress, and I'll definitely celebrate that, both with what she's dealing with. She was facing it there at the end, unflinchingly, almost tired and bored of it, at that point, and also took a step with Jamie after all of that. Even though it went south there in the end, she still did it. And I'm happy about that. But guys, that's all I got for right now. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. Feel free to join our Discord. We could talk about it there as well. Links to that on my socials down below. Hope you follow me in each and every one of those. If you want to see the full-length reaction to this episode, you can check it out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, it gets you access as well. And speaking of, before you go, I want to shout out our channel legends: Manny Sherritt, Ryan Karen, Philly Vane, Yori Corey, Scott, Margaret Grace, Mary Bradley, Nate Prouty, and Melita. Thank you guys so much as always. And that's it for now, guys. And I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everybody.